Welcome you all for direct taxation class. In the previous class, we had discussed regarding one component related to your income from house property, that is gross annual value. Means based on the gross annual value, your income from house property will be calculated. So that is the base. So in the previous sessions, we had solved few problems related to GAV, gross annual value. In this session, we will go with few problems related to self-occupied as well as let out house property. So I said initially only whenever you are calculating your income from house property, we have to calculate either it is self-occupied or either it is let out house property. So based on this, we will be deriving at income from house property of an individual. So now today we will solve with self-occupied house property. So what do you mean by self-occupied here? So here, as per the income tax norms, suppose for an individual, if he is having more than one houses, if he is having, so everywhere he cannot reside in that particular house. So at that particular point of time, what he does, in one house he will reside and in other house he might give it on rent or he might use it for some other purposes, right? So like that. So whichever the house that is occupied by the owner himself, that will be said as self-occupied. So based on that, we will calculate the problems or we will go with the problems based on your self-occupied. So first thing is, I will read out the problem. X owns a house property. It is used by him throughout the previous year 2019-20 for his and his family members, residents. Municipal value of the property is rupees 1,66,000, whereas fair rent is rupees 1,76,000 and standard rent is rupees 1,50,000. The following expenses are incurred by X: repairs rupees 20,000, municipal tax rupees 16,000, insurance rupees 2,000, interest on capital borrowed to construct the house property rupees 1,66,000, interest on capital borrowed by mortgaging the property for daughter's marriage rupees 20,000. In either case, capital is borrowed before April 1, 1999. Income of X from business is rupees 7,10,000. Find out the net income of X for the assessment year 2020-21. So now this is the problem we need to solve. So what are the information that has been provided here is municipal value has been given, standard rent has been given, fair rent has been given, and when the construction for the amount, what is the amount they had taken for construction and which date it was taken, those information has been provided. So based on this, we will solve the problem. Computation of net income of X for the assessment year 2020-21, right? So this is, so initially we had discussed related to the how the format will be followed. So first component we need here is gross annual value. Gross annual value we need. So as it is self-occupied, you will not be paying the rent for yourself. So this becomes nil. Right. Next thing is, out of this gross annual value, we need to deduct municipal tax. Municipal tax. So you will not be paying any municipal tax here. So this value becomes nil. This is said as your NAV, that is net asset value. Afterwards, out of your NAV, you need to give deduction under section 24. Deduction under section 24. So under section 24, we will be giving deduction with respect to standard deduction section 24 subsection A as well as interest on borrowed capital section 24 subsection B, right? First thing is standard deduction under section 24 subsection A. So, with respect to this, no standard deduction is available for self-occupied. Next one is interest on borrowed capital. So, here whenever you are assessing your self-occupied, so at that point of time you need to be very cautious, because interest borrowed with respect means interest on borrowed capital, in case if it is before April 1, 1999, the deduction limit is 30,000, means maximum up to 30,000 is the deduction that will be provided. In case if it is, it means in case any capital borrowed after April 1, 1999, the statutory limit will be 2 lakh. So, here with respect to this problem, what they have said, the capital borrowed before April 1, 1999. So, the maximum limit, the maximum statutory limit available with respect to interest on borrowed capital under section 24 subsection B, it will be 30,000. 30,000. So, this is what? Afterwards, this becomes a negative value because you don't have your NAV, all those things. So, we will write it as minus 30,000. So, this is your income. Income from house property, that is self-occupied. Okay, self-occupied. Self-occupied house property. This is self-occupied house property. Afterwards, they have given a business income. So, here whenever they are asking net income, means you have to calculate 5 heads of income, that is income from salary, income from house property, income from capital gain, income from other sources, business or profit, right? This you have to calculate, business from profit, right? So, that is one thing what you need to calculate here. So, now business income they have given here. Rest of the heads, there is no income or there is no information available with respect to Mr. X. So, business income is business income. So, that is provided with respect to that is 7,10,000. So, here from your self-occupied house property, you have a negative, that is loss, that is minus 30,000. So, from business you have got an income, that is 7,10,000. So, that has to be set off. Means here whatever the loss if you are incurring from other heads, that can be set off here. Means you are balancing it, you are deducting that. So, here in this case from your business income we can set off that income from self-occupied house property loss is there, right? So, that can be set off. So, we will set off remaining amount 6,80,000 will become your net income. Sorry, 6,80,000. Okay, 6,80,000 will be your net income. Is it clear? So, here I will just brief out it again. Whenever you are assessing your self-occupied house property, right? So, at that particular point of time, your gross annual value is taken as nil, municipal value is taken as nil. So, where your net annual value become nil. Afterwards, you will go with respect to deduction under section 24. There, your standard deduction section 24 subsection A, that will also be nil. Only with respect to interest on borrowed capital will be taken as consideration with a value, because here as an individual I will not pay the rent for myself, means if I am a owner means I will not pay the rent. That is the reason why we will not be taking the gross annual value with respect to your self-occupied house. So, here information has been provided with respect to repair, with respect to municipal value, with respect to insurance, everything has been given. right? So, but as we are not paying the rent for ourselves, that will not be taken into consideration while assessing your income from house property. Afterwards, in this problem, they had asked you to calculate net income. Net income in the sense, all the 5 heads of income need to be calculated. So, based on that information, we have got from your self-occupied house property, we had a loss of 30,000. Afterwards, business income we had, that is 7,10,000 we had. So, out of your 7,10,000, we need to deduct 30,000 loss. So, after deducting that, we got 6,80,000. So, that is your net income. So, from the computation of your net income of Mr. X with respect to assessment year 2021, his net income is 6,80,000. Clear? Okay. Till now, we had discussed regarding self-occupied house property. Means the owner, he himself will be occupying that particular property. So, now we will go with problem based on let out house property, so that we can understand the difference between self-occupied and let out. Clear? So, I will just read out the problem. Aniruddha has a property whose municipal valuation is rupees 1,30,000 per annum. The fair rent is rupees 1,10,000 per annum and standard rent fixed by the Rent Control Act is rupees 1,20,000 per annum. The property was let out for rent of rupees 11,000 per month throughout the previous year. Unrealized rent was rupees 11,000 and all conditions prescribed by Rule 4 are satisfied. He paid municipal taxes at 10% of municipal valuation. Interest on borrowed capital was rupees 40,000 for the year. Compute the income from house property of Aniruddha for the assessment year 2020-21. So, now with respect to let out house property. So, what do you mean by let out house property? Means if I am the owner of the property, what I will do? I will give it on rent. Means I will give it on rent. So, at that particular point of time, I will generate the revenue out of it, where I will be receiving rent when I have given the property for rent. So, that becomes a property income. So, here directly whatever the rent I get, that will not be taken into consideration. So, what they do? They go through the calculation. So, how we will be calculating? We will check with it. So, while calculating, what are the information you require, right? So, here also, whenever you are calculating your let out house property, same procedure will be followed, where you require gross annual value. Afterwards, you require municipal tax. Then you need to give the deduction under section 24, where standard deduction will be given, interest on borrowed capital will be given. It is similar to your self-occupied, but here values will be there with respect to your GAV, with respect to your municipal value. So, now in this problem, they have not given us gross annual value. So, what we need to do? We need to calculate the gross annual value first, then we should move on to this format. Clear? Means first we have to look for, or what are the information that is provided to calculate gross annual value, we should check. Next thing is we should move on to the income from house property. So, now we are doing let out house property problem. Clear? So, here with respect to Aniruddha's case, let out house property. So, what are the information that has been provided? So, we need to recall the 5 steps here again to calculate your gross annual value. 5 steps we need to recall, right? So, your first step says, that is reasonable expected rent of the property, right? So, if you want to calculate reasonable expected rent of the property, so what are the factors you need to see, right? One is your municipal value, another one is your fair rent, Another one is your standard rent, right? So these are the three factors we will be seeing, or three components that has been provided, or three information whether it is there or not. So in this case, they have provided the municipal value. So we will see that. So municipal value is given, fair rent is given, standard rent is given in the problem, right? So municipal value is how much? 1,30,000 is the municipal value what they have provided, and fair rent is 1,10,000. Next thing is standard rent they have given, that is 1,20,000, right? So these information are required to calculate your first step of your gross annual value. Clear? First thing is we will check whether this is whichever is higher. So in this case, whichever is higher means this is higher. Understanding? Afterwards, once we have chosen, now we need to compare this and this. So where they say that whatever the value you are identifying, it should not cross your standard rent. So at that point of time, it becomes whichever is less. So 1,20,000 will be your value. That is, we have chosen, right? So based on this, we need to calculate gross annual value. So again, we will go with a procedure how to calculate gross annual value first. So step 1. So what is your step 1 requirement is reasonable expected rent. Reasonable expected rent. Reasonable expected rent of the property. Rent of the property. So how much it is? We have identified, that is 1,20,000. I'll write here 1,20,000. Sorry. Clear? 1,20,000. Step 2. So here step 2 is rent received or receivable after deducting unrealized rent, but before adjusting the loss due to vacancy. So what is the rent received here? We should need to calculate. Received or receivable. So here in this case, they have given per month what will be the rent they will be paying. So first thing is 11,000 is a rent what they are paying per month. They said that in the problem previous year completely they have occupied. So 12 months. So it is 1,32,000. Right? Complete year the tenant means the owner should receive 1,32,000. Clear? In your step 2, what we are doing here is we are checking what is the amount of rent that owner has received after deducting unrealized rent. So what do you mean by this unrealized rent? So here unrealized rent in the sense the tenant will be there. Means the person who has taken the property on rent, he will be there, but he will not make the payment of the rent. So that becomes unrealized, right? So unrealized rent. In the problem they have mentioned unrealized rent is 11,000. So unrealized rent information they have said 11,000. Means we have to deduct that. So remaining amount is 1,21,000. Clear? Next thing, we need to move on to step 3. So what your step 3 says? Amount computed in step 1 and step 2. Amount computed in step 1 and 2. We need to take into consideration here 1 and 2. Then we should check whichever is higher. Means comparison. Whichever is higher. So out of this, whichever is higher means this will be higher. So 1,21,000. That is your step 3. Next we will move on to step 4. So what does step 4 says? Loss due to vacancy. Loss due to vacancy. So in this problem, as they had said, completely previous year he has given the property on rent, so he has received. So there won't be any loss. So this is nil. Right. Next thing, step 5. So what is the step 5? This is what we require, that is gross annual value, where they say that step 3 minus step 4, right? Gross annual value means step 3 minus step 4. So here there is no value, so same amount will become your gross annual value. Clear? So this is gross annual value which is required to compute our income from let out house property. So understood? So individually we were solving this problem, gross annual value. In the previous session we have solved this. So now here, once solving your gross annual value, as well as we are moving further with respect to calculation of income from house property with respect to let out house property. Clear? Understood? Right? Okay. Now keeping this, now you know that gross annual value is 1,21,000. Remember this. Next we will follow further. Okay. So till now we have calculated gross annual value. Next, now we need to calculate income from let out house property. Computation of income from let out house property, right? Again for assessment year. So I write assessment year 2020-21. Right, we will move on with step by step. As I said, so here also in whatever we followed in your self-occupied format, same will be followed here. First component what we need, gross annual value. Gross annual value. So we have calculated that is 1,21,000. Right, 1,21,000. Next thing is we need to give deduct municipal tax. So here municipal tax owner has paid. In this case what they have done here is they have not given directly the municipal tax amount, but they have given municipal value. What is the municipal value they have given? 1,30,000 is the municipal value they have given. So on this you need to calculate 10%, means it will be 13,000. Clear? That has to be deducted from your gross annual value. After deducting that, you will be getting a value 1,08,000. 1,08,000. This is called NAV, means net annual value. After your calculating NAV, means after the calculation of net annual value, we need to give deductions again. Deduction under section 24. So deduction under section 24. What are the deductions? One is standard deduction, another one is interest on borrowed capital. Right? Remember here your date doesn't make any difference because we are directly taking the value. Only with respect to your self-occupied, you need to remember that date before April 1, 99 or April 1, 99. After, before or after that you need to remember. So in this case, whatever the value they have given, directly we can take. So first thing is standard deduction I will give. So standard deduction 24A, right, section. So here in this case, what we need to do here is, what they say NAV as you have got. So on net annual value, you need to give 30%. So net annual value is 1,08,000 into 30%. You need to calculate. So it is 32,400. Clear? 32,400. Next one is interest on borrowed capital. They have given in the problem 40,000. So now out of your net annual value NAV, we need to give deduction with respect to standard deduction 24 subsection A. This is 24 subsection B. So 40,000. So remaining amount is what? It is 35,600. So what is this 35,600 is called as? That is said as your income from house property. Right? Is it clear? So when you see the comparison between let out house property and self-occupied house property, this is what the difference. In your just few minutes back we solved the previous problem, right, which was related to your self-occupied. So at that point of time you did not consider gross annual value, you did not consider municipal tax, you did not consider standard deduction, right? That you need to remember always. Sometimes what happens, they will give both a problem. Unit 1 will be self-occupied, unit 2 will be your let out house property. So at that point of time you need to calculate, right? So make it clear. So here in your let out house property, gross annual value we have calculated, the 5 steps process we followed. Afterwards we got 1,26,000, right? Next thing is municipal tax. Here in this case municipal value was given, that is 1,30,000 was the value that was given. Based on that they had said 10%. So that we calculated. So 13,000 we got. So that 13,000 we deducted. Afterwards we got net annual value 1,08,000. Next thing is we will be giving deduction under section 24. So standard deduction section 24 subsection A, where based on your net annual value, these are the statutory rules they have said. Net annual value you need to give 30%. So we have calculated on 1,08,000 30%, that is 32,400. Afterwards interest on borrowed capital, they have given directly 40,000. This is section 24 subsection B, 40,000. So that also we have taken into consideration. After deducting all these things, we got 35,600, that is said as your income from house property. So here this is income from let out house property what Mr. Aniruddha has received. Is it clear? Okay. Next thing is we will move on to one more problem, right? Is it now it is clear, right? So till now what we did, one self-occupied we have worked out, one let out house property we had worked out. Now what we will do, we will work it out in combination of both, means self-occupied as well as let out, both together we will work it out. Okay, I will go with a problem. X, a residential house property, it has two equal residential units, unit 1 and unit 2. While unit 1 is self-occupied by X for his residential purpose. Unit 2 is let out, rent being rupees 6,000 per month. Rent of 2 months could not be recovered. Municipal value of the property is rupees 1,30,000. Standard rent is rupees 1,25,000 and fair rent is rupees 1,40,000. Municipal tax is imposed at 12%, which is paid by X. Other expenses for the previous year 2019-20 being repairs rupees 250, insurance rupees 600, interest on capital borrowed during 1998, for construction of the property rupees 63,000. Find out the income of X for the assessment year 2020-21 on the assumption that income of X from other sources is rupees 1,80,000. Okay, so this is the problem. So here what they have asked here, they have given unit 1 and unit 2. So where we need to calculate what is the income from self-occupied and what is the income from let out. So first thing is unit 1, right? So while calculating unit 1, what they have said, unit 1 is self-occupied. So what we need to do, we need to calculate with respect to self-occupied. So first we will go with unit 1 self-occupied, what is the calculation and what we will get. So I will follow the same format. First one is unit 1 self-occupied, right? So just we had worked out self-occupied problem. In that case, what was the thing? Gross annual value we will not take, that will be nil. Next thing is municipal tax, again that is not considered. So your NAV becomes nil. Again standard deduction, that also is not given. Only component which we need to focus with respect to self-occupied is interest on borrowed capital. So here in this case, interest on borrowed capital, what are the things that we have come across, that we will check here. So here as what they have said, when it was borrowed, they have said it was borrowed during 1998, right? Means it is before April 1, 1999. So what does the maximum amount becomes here? Maximum amount is 30,000, right? So but here they have said it is 63,000 they have said, but 2 units are there. Understanding? 2 units are there, 63,000. So what we need to do for unit 1 we need to take 50%, another unit 2 we need to take 50%. Means out of 63,000 we need to take 50%, right? Means half of your 63,000 you need to take into consideration. So what it will be, half of your this thing, it will be 31,500. Here with respect to this, as it is borrowed during 1998, means before April 1, 1999. So statutory limit will become 30,000 or 30,000. With this we need to make the comparison. So maximum what they are saying, 30,000. So the limit is you will be getting 30,000, right? Understanding? So here it is 30,000. This is income from self-occupied house. Understood? So this is unit 1. This is what the calculation you need to do with respect to unit 1. Understood? Next thing is we will move on to unit 2. So while going to unit 2, what are the information we need to, here again is we need to again calculate with respect to gross annual value, because here directly they have not given the gross annual value. So based on the given information we need to calculate. Let us calculate. Okay. So this is with respect to let out. Unit 2, unit 2 let out, right? So what are the given information? First thing is we will go with what are the given information. So afterwards we will move on to gross annual value, because first we will check with the information and based on that it will be easier for us to just post the entries and go with the calculation. Okay. So here municipal value is given. In the problem municipal value is given. So what they have said, and one more thing, remember as in the problem they have said unit 1 and unit 2. So information what they have provided, it is combining both, they have given the information. So whenever we are taking into consideration we have to take 50%, 50%. So 50% is for unit 1, 50% is for unit 2. So based on that here municipal value they have given 1,30,000 they have given. So out of this, half it might be said or it might be said as 50% we need to take into consideration. So that is how much? 65,000. Clear? Next thing is fair rent they have given. How much? 1,40,000 they have given. Out of this, again 50%, that is 70,000. Next thing is standard rent. Standard rent. How much it is? 1,25,000 they have given. So 1 lakh. So again here also you need to take 50%, that is 62,500. So these three information are required for us to calculate gross annual value first step. Right? Expected rent we need to calculate. Reasonable expected rent we need to calculate. So for that purpose this is required. So in this, whichever is higher we will check. So whichever is higher means this is higher. Afterwards this and this will be compared, right? Out of this, whichever is lower. So what is the value? This will be considered. Okay. Next few more informations are there that will come. So here annual rent, what they have said in this case, 6,000 they have said per month into 12. Just I am making the calculation and keeping it ready. So that is 72,000. Afterward they said unrealized for 2 months. So unrealized rent, that is 6,000 into 2, it is 12,000. So these are the information that has been provided, right? Keeping this information, now we will go with calculation of our gross annual value. Afterwards we will calculate income from let out house property. Clear? Okay. This is clear, right? So we have calculated municipal value because they had given complete amount with respect to 1 and 2, they combined and gave. Now we are taking only 50% of it because other 50% is with respect to your self-occupied. Now we are calculating with respect to let out house property. So we have taken 50%. So keep it clear. Right. So now we will go with step by step. Again, step 1. So reasonable expected rent. Reasonable expected. So reasonable expected rent is how much? We have calculated 62,500. Right. So next is step 2. So what it is? Rent received. Rent received or receivable. Rent received or receivable. Here they say you need to deduct unrealized rent. So in this case, unrealized rent is also there, right? And also you need to remember, but before adjusting loss due to vacancy, that you need to remember, don't get confused. So in this case, for complete here, they got 72,000. So 2 months unrealized rent is there, that is 12,000. This you need to deduct. So it is 60,000. Clear? Next is step 3. Here we need to check with these two steps, step 1 and step 2, whichever is higher. Amount computed in step 1 or 2, whichever is higher. So whichever is higher, if you make the comparison, whichever is higher, 60 to 500 is higher. 60 to 500 is higher. Clear? Next is step 4. So step 4 is loss due to vacancy. Loss due to vacancy. So in this case, as they had said, complete year it was rented. It was given on rent. So no loss due to vacancy. Next step is your what? Main step, that is your gross annual value, GAV. GAV. So what it is? Step 3 minus step 4. Here also step 3 minus step 4. So step 4 doesn't have any value. So whatever the value that is there in your step 3, that becomes your GAV, that is 62,500. Clear? So this is the main requirement for us. Sometimes just they will ask you to calculate this much. So now we will move on to next process. So gross annual value we have got. This is gross annual value is a requirement for us. So while calculating let out house property income, what are the other process we go with? Next, out of this, less municipal tax. Municipal tax we need to deduct. In this case, what the value they have given? 1,30,000 municipal value they have given. Out of this, we need to take 50% of it. At what rate? At 12%. They have said. Information has been given for us. Municipal value, again I will repeat, municipal valuation rate they have given 1,30,000. On that they say that municipal tax is at 12%. So with respect to this unit, it is 50%. That amount we will take. Afterwards, based on that 12% we will calculate. So it is 7,800. Clear? So if you deduct this value, you will get 54,700, that is called your NAV, net annual value, right? Afterwards, what we need to do? We need to give deduction again, less deduction under section 24. This you need to remember always, okay, right? Under this standard deduction, that is 30% of your NAV. So how much it is? 54,700 into 30% we need to give. So here just remember, don't get confused. It is always, this is a statutory limit, 30% they have said. So whatever the NAV you get, so based on that you need to calculate. So in this case we have got 54,700 we have got. So how much it is? 16,410, right? Next is interest on borrowed capital. That they have said. How much? 31,500. Remember here in the problem they have said 63,000, but here we are taking 50% of it, right? So we need to deduct here. So what is the remaining amount that we need to calculate? That is 6,790. This is your income from let out house property. Clear? So what they had done? They had given us unit 1 and unit 2. With respect to unit 1 we had calculated. So unit 1 is self-occupied. That was minus 30,000. Means it is a loss. Next thing is let out house property. Out of let out house property we have calculated this. Previously normally you have seen this, right? So either they will be giving you the problem based on GAV, gross annual value. This is one part. So in this problem I have combined it and solved it so that you will understand what will be the difference. So GAV we had calculated, that is 62,500. Afterwards, what are the other things we need to do? We need to deduct municipal tax, whatever the information it was provided. So based on that we have calculated, we got 7,800. Next thing is out of that you will get net annual value, that is 54,700 we got. Afterwards we need to give deduction. Under that standard deduction where they say that on your NAV 30% should be given. So in this case we got NAV 54,700, on that 30% we gave 16,410. Next thing is interest on borrowed capital. In the problem they have said 63,000. As there is 2 units, what we are doing? We are taking into consideration as 50%, 50%. So based on that 31,500. So we did the calculation, we got 6,700. So that is your income from let out house property. So in this case what they have asked also we need to recall again. They are not asked only to calculate unit 1 and unit 2. They have asked us to calculate income of Mr. X. So now we have separately calculated with respect to one head, that is income from house property. Next thing is we need to calculate what is his total income or what is his net income. That we will go ahead. So if you remember, there are 5 heads of income, right? So which are those? One is income from salary. So here I will go with that. First thing is income from salary. Do you have any information here? No, right? So it is nil. Next thing, income from house property. House property. So here we need to check. One unit we have, that is self-occupied. How much we got? Minus 30,000 we got. Okay. Next is unit 2 we have. So how much we got? 6,790. This is let out, right? So here from let out we have 6,790, but from your self-occupied we have 30,000, that is minus. So what we need to do? We need to set off here. So what we will get again, remaining amount 23,210. 23,210. This is negative value. We need to deduct. So next 2 heads we have checked with. So as I earlier said, 5 heads of incomes are there. Next one is profit and gains from business or profession. Business or profession. In this, do you have any information? No, we don't have. Next thing, income from capital gain. Do we have any information? No, we don't have. So nil. Next one is income from other sources. For this they have given, that is 1,80,000. So when they are asking you to calculate net income, you need to calculate all these 5. Just for your understanding, I have written all this, but sometimes information will be available with respect to salary, information will be available with respect to capital gain, information will be available, or with respect to business or profession it will be available. So at that particular point of time you need to be aware. So now we have only 2 information. One is with respect to house property we have calculated. With respect to other sources they have directly given 1,80,000. So 1,80,000 is your income, and from your income from house property it is a loss of 23,210. That we need to set up. So what is the remaining amount? 1,56,690. 1,56,690. This is your remaining amount. That is said as your net income. Clear? So here in this problem they had given us unit 1 and unit 2. So combination of your self-occupied as well as let out house property, that we calculated first. Afterwards they had asked us to calculate net income. So we have calculated the net income where we got 1,56,690. Clear? So with respect to this assessment here for Mr. X, so tax liability will be nil. So how it is nil? As he has not crossed the slab rate. For an individual, what will be the slab rate? 2,50,000. Up to 2,50,000, you need not pay any tax. So keeping that slab rate in the mind, so we will say that for Mr. X, he will not be paying any tax liability, but he need to file the nil returns. Returns is mandatory. It is more than mandatory, it is a kind of social responsibility for us that we need to file the returns. Clear? Understood? Thank you.